that don't believe in God. Well, believe me, after you screw with God so much, you're going to believe in God and wish you were never born, because that's just the kind of stuff that, in the name of science, it's just Frankensteinish, macabre, perverted science, and people think just because they can do it, they should. Well, you really can't. Believe me. You're going to find out when you start crossing this kind of line. You're going to find out you can't do this because God is not going to permit it. God's only going to put up with so much of our crap. But you know what? If you start doing something like that in the name of creating new hearts without souls, supposedly, or pigs with human brains without souls, supposedly, you start messing with God like that under the pretense that you don't believe in God and you think we're just animals anyway, so why not just mix it up between the gene pool of animals? No. God, human beings from conception to natural birth have a human eternal soul within them. That's what you don't mess with God. And so you can create all these little test tube little babies and stuff, half porcupine, half human, half toad, half human, whatever you want to do, and you can think that you're not doing anything but advancing science. Well, you're really going to find out. I'm just warning you. This is going to be your last warning on this. Just don't. There's certain things, including if I had my own adopted daughter Stacy or Tara, and I wanted to actually do whatever it took to save their lives, and I knew that I would do anything for them, still I wouldn't go there. I would not go there. There's just some things you just don't do. So enough on that rant. But it's just you just gotta go like facepalm. What are these people doing? And I hate to say it, but this is the National Institute of Health that is now agreeing to explore funding of a government already $19.4 trillion in debt, that somehow unleashing some funding for this. But I guarantee you right now, in perverted places like North Korea, China, Mengele's type of stuff, Planned Abortion, Parenthood, back doors, privately and in other governments, this kind of stuff's already happening. And I'm telling you, I'm so scared for the souls and fate of Earth when this happens, because if I just had one little scenario that I would say, okay, what would it take to just piss Jesus Christ off so bad that he's like, enough guys, that's it, you're done. That would be it. Okay, well, on to happier things. Today I had a really good chance to once again tell Evelyn just how much it is important to me as a guy that should be, according to most sources, just sitting in bed watching the ceiling fan going around and dying of cancer. How important it is for me to not have the focus on me at all, but to have the focus on people who actually are in worse shape than I am. So in my 54 years, like I said, I've done things most people haven't done. And that's, even to this day, I live more in one day than anybody on pot does. They're blowing their lives, but I'm actually living more in a day than they do in their lifetime. So don't feel sorry for me one iota, really. What we're talking about here is a wonderful 17, I think 15-year-old brother and sister. Jasmine's, I think, 17 now, and Chris would be about 15 now. I've known him for many, many years, I think 3 or 4 years now. Just love these kids to death. And what I told Evelyn today, and I've told her many times, is how I get through my cancer with all sorts of calmness and acceptance of what God has in store for me, is to watch those two inspire me so much. Because today, I'll be honest with you, today was like the first day I woke up and says, God, I feel so terrible today, I don't even think I even want to make it. I really did. It was terrible this morning, but I don't think my digestive system past my stomach is working right. I think it's kind of like blocking up, and we're gonna check that out next week. But long story short is, I really felt like just miserable this morning. I did, but I about noontime or so, I started feeling better, and I drove into Tucson. But it's partially, I guess, mental when you get to be like that, because I'm like, well, I'm really hurting. I'm not sure my situation will ever be better than it is today. But you know what? This is how those kids wake up every day. And they are so inspirational to me, because they're not complaining. They're not even really so worried about their fate. Their concern is the fact that their family is usually under a tremendous amount of financial burden to take care of people who are in this shape. just the only thing we can really do for them is something we're not doing now. And I keep telling Evelyn, I'm like, I don't know why the 3 protesters for Black Lives Matters gets all of the assignment desk and the TV worlds in town to jump down and cover those people with all their high-speed remote trucks for the 10 o'clock news. But they're chasing crap, and they're ignoring the one thing they need to be working on, and that's covering somebody in this town, in this community, who really has no one else to turn to except for the community. And it's not like we're asking them to raise money for an organization or anything. This goes directly to help the families in this town, and there are many who have Huntington's disease, and it's no fun at all to be somebody trying to not even worry about how to pay the bills or anything like that, but just to have their kids still around next year. And financially and maybe sociologically, these families are devastated, and they really do need all the love and support we can give them. And I was just attached to these kids as soon as I first saw them. I'm like, this is actually Evelyn's niece and nephew. It's not even her kids. It's Ernestine Nogales' kids. It's Chris. Chris was their husband, or her husband, the kid's father, and he died last year of the same disease. And so right now she's pretty much on her own. I feel sorry for all of these kids, because not the kids, but the people who have to take care of them, because I mean, they could be doing all these little fun beach vacations and stuff, but they can't. And the reason they can't is because they're pretty tied down trying to take care of people who are very much worthy of their love and support. But we need to pay it forward. Tucson and Southern Arizona, we need to get in there and help them as well. Help them out with whatever you can this year. Now, Evelyn told me today that her annual huge walk that they raise most of the money on during the year is going to happen on October 15th, and I'm pretty sure it's also going to be in Reed Park Zoo. Now, I'm going to be all over the media, even if I have to go to Channel 12, Channel whatever it is that all my friends in Phoenix are on, all these different ABC, Family 3. I'm going to be on Phoenix this year because I pretty much had it with trying to get Tucson involved. But I'm going to get the Arizona Republic, anybody that's going to take to come down here. I'll even go down to Nogales and yell across the fence to get the media from down there up here. Univision, Jorge Ramos, whoever it's going to take. We got to get somebody up here to cover this. This event, through the help of Walmart, Diamond Desert Casino, Adam Quasman, his dad, Dr. Quasman, a lot of people are very consistent in giving every year to this thing out of just, good intentions, and they know what it's all about, and they know it's money well spent. But we have to do more, because every year Evelyn sets new records. I think last year she set a new record of $16,000. Well, guess what? You take that $16,000 and you start dividing it up among the number of kids who have to be cared for, that are not being cared for by the government or by the community. You split that little amount of money up. Okay, well, maybe it's a tank of gas to get them to the doctor per family. So we have to do better. Now, I'm a pretty inventive guy. Call me eccentric if you like, but I'm pretty inventive. And I've tried to think of something, some ice bucket challenge or ice cream in the face, some kind of crazy thing to help spread the word. But I'm gonna do something really John-esque here. I'm going to tell you, wearing the Sullivan's Projects media badge, I am begging you, as a guy who has gone through cancer, a guy who I think might, hopefully, survive cancer, I am begging you to help. Reed Park Zoo, October 15th. Stay in touch with my page at Sullivan's Projects. It's Sullivan's Projects Official. Just Google that. On Facebook, you'll find me. And keep in touch there, and we will make sure that we start giving these kids. We can't give them the cure. I would love to. We can always pray for that, and I ask you to do that as well. We can't give them the cure. We can't even really make them go off the next day and not be worse than they were the day before. We can't do that. What we can do is love them, support them, and sincerely care about them. And that will do it for me. thank you guys very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. That will do it for this weekly update, and I will try to catch you guys soon. And this is getting to be my first day where I can't actually swallow, and that really kind of burns me. But I got 3 awesome salads and an awesome pizza today from the wonderful place. It's called the Fired. I will think of it, and I will get that back on. It's right next to FedEx, Kinko's there, the FedEx office on Speedway. The Fired Pizza, something like that. Anyways, it's really a great place, and once again, thank you very much, Evelyn, for having this event. Very sorry that the media is what it is. I'm gonna try to get Doug Martin in on kind of closing the gap and get you on KVOI. There's a lot of great hosts I think would be glad to have her on. I just get so tired of calling her and saying, Evelyn, good news, they finally came through for me. I have it here in writing. And I showed her all this stuff today that from you know, this person at the station that promised and forgot she promised and said, oh yeah, I did, so I promised again, and all of a sudden I'm blocked on Facebook from talking to her. So I will go straight to Doug Martin, the owner of Good News Media, who owns that station. I think he runs K-Love and a couple other things in town, and we're gonna at least find out what's going on with that. As I keep saying, once you meet Evelyn, she is made for radio, she's made for TV, she's made for all this type. She's quick on her feet, she's quick with the facts. I saw her convince 2 strangers today to support her, and they did. So we need to really circle the wagons, as the media and the liberals like to say. But this time it's not to defend somebody, it's to promote somebody. And that would be Evelyn Garcia and her wonderful work with Huntington's Disease Society of America.